probably the highlights of the episode is definitely when Mark encounters a new Viltrumite that we haven't seen before. I think that's really when the episode is the most intense and, in my opinion, the most interesting. But there's a lot of good stuff here, a lot of great character moments as
Oh,
usual, a
you
lot with
weren't
Mark and
interested.
Amber.
I was just gonna say that.
Wait, say that again?
I was gonna say, oh, you weren't interested in the Mark and Amber parts of the episode?
Well, it's getting there. It is starting to get there. So I guess we can start with the Mark and Amber stuff. I feel
They
like
open
the
on
whole
it.
season, yeah, we open at a Comic Con, which is a lot of fun, and there's a really fun fourth wall breaking joke from like the comic book artist that Mark, talks to, who was voiced by Tim Robinson actually.
I thought that was really
Um, yeah, I definitely, I would not be able to tell just from hearing that voice, but I looked it up and it
me
was
too.
cool. It's cool that it's
I
Tim
love
Robinson.
I love watching on Amazon Prime because you can like pause it and it'll tell you who the
Yeah.
actors are.
No, yeah, that's really sick, especially for an animated show where it's just their voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Comic-Con stuff was fun. Um, and then yeah, it's a lot of Mark and Amber stuff, and honestly, probably more the more interesting stuff kind of comes towards the back half. So we can kind of circle back to it, but I will say that it does seem like things might things might be on the outs for them. I don't know if that's the right saying, but
I
you
know.
get
It was
yeah.
sad. It was sad. It was fun seeing them at a Comic-Con though. Like just the thought of
Mm,
superheroes going to Comic-Con, seeing people dressed up as their superhero
yeah.
persona, that's really funny to me. I think that was a really funny choice for them. I also thought it was funny how Mark was like having the time of his life and Amber was just kind of following him around. And I looked over to Jordan like halfway, or not halfway, but at this moment, and I was like, wow, why does why does this feel oddly familiar? But I mean, I would enjoy.
All boys are the same.
They literally are. They're all the same. But I would enjoy going to Comic-Con, but I just thought that was funny and and he was like, I want to make sure you're having a good time. And she was like, I am having a good time.
Have you been to a Comic-Con before?
No. But I would like to
Okay.
go to one. I would go to one. I just think I would probably get a little tired
Yeah.
quickly. I could only do like a day.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
But they're really cool. San Diego Comic-Con, I always wanted to go to that. Maybe
but
this summer.
hey, maybe you could stay with me. We could drive down. But I thought that fourth wall break was really fun and kind of like a call out to the fans,
Yeah.
kind of being like, all right, guys, slow your roll. Animation is hard.
It is a funny joke. Just because like, we've all seen so many cartoons and especially like when I'm watching like a kid's cartoon from when I grew up and it's in a scene where there's a bunch of like background characters and if you just look like none of them are doing anything. And honestly, I think usually they're kind of like recycled like throughout. They're like it's like however many actual models and then they're just like duplicated and like mixed up. But of course, like I totally understand that on the animator's part.
Yeah. However, I'm curious, did you think that part of the episode was necessary? Could we have covered some more ground on another thing in like those 2 minutes that it took? I don't know. It was funny and I appreciated it, but in the like in the big
Right.
view of things, like what did it take away?
it's more so just an interesting, like I don't know how much ground the show would have covered in those that 2 minute gag, but it's more interesting that to do such a self-aware joke, such a meta joke, just because I think as smart as the source material is and as smart as the adaptation is of Invincible, it is a pretty like serious show. Um, and so to have a moment that breaks the fourth wall, like so on the nose, it's funny.
Mhm.
Um, but I was wondering like maybe it is a little distracting or a little bit like almost like a slightly toned down Rick and Morty bit or like a Family Guy bit.
Yeah, definitely an interesting
I
choice,
don't know.
but
Yeah.
it was overall funny. But yeah, I mean, Mark and Amber can't handle the heat.
Yeah. And that's because Amber sucks.
Whoa.
And not just kidding. I gotta give a lot of credit to Amber, and I guess we'll talk about it a little bit later, since it happens kind of at the end. Um, but yeah, so there's is some stuff that happens with them. Mark talks to the dean, gives them 1 month to get back on track.
Mhm.
Um, and it's I don't know like how you feel about kind of this the small stuff like that because I think it does add a lot to his character and it helps us believe that he's like a real person and not like a cartoon character, you know? He's kind of similar to like Spider-Man and heroes that are young and
Yeah.
supposed to be kind of relatable.
Yeah, I actually I love those moments. I love that they like talk about school, and I liked that for a moment Mark talked about getting like a part-time job. Even though I personally don't think he should get a part-time job. I don't think he can handle it. But I really enjoy that they make Mark so relatable. Um, yeah.
Yeah, he is very relatable. Um, yeah,
You're
he's
so
literally me, actually.
yeah.
I am him, really, is what I'm trying to say.
Whoa.
I do get really
Invisible
like
reveal.
I get really hyped up like when I watch the show and watch Mark be awesome. Um, just because he reminds me so much of myself.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's very cool.
well, and then we also see a little bit of the Guardians of the Globe this episode,
Oh,
which which was interesting. I think just everyone's just going through it. No one has a good day, I feel like. Except for Rex when he kind of takes out the goddamn nightmare tentacle monster.
yeah. Rex has a he's a really cool ass kind of robot hand cannon thing now.
Hmm.
That's pretty powerful. I don't know if it probably couldn't take out a Viltrumite, but it is a cool addition. So Rex does seem to be surprisingly doing the
Yeah.
best out of the Guardians. Our man Immortal is still going through it.
Yeah, I know. It worries me. I wonder if like a big fight were to break out in this finale, if he would show up.
Right. Have like a cool like season 2 moment.
Mhm.
Um, I know. I feel like we need to probably need to see him die again. Like we need to see another immortal death probably
Yeah.
before the
Uh,
season's up.
I guess like I understand why he wants to leave the Guardians of the Globe because he can't die. Like so he can't like escape this life that he's in. So like the only way to kind of escape it in a way is to step back from being a superhero. So I get it,
Yeah.
but maybe
Where do you
where
think,
home is, yeah.
yeah, where do you think home is?
I have no idea. And I hope we find out. Um, let's see, where if I were immortal, where would my home be?
Maybe he's lived everywhere. I mean, he's been around for a pretty
Yeah.
long time.
Where would he feel like the most at home, though? Disneyland?
Hmm,
Um,
potentially. He seems like such a, I don't know, I imagine him retreating to like some cabin in the woods.
yeah, like
But
a
like, yeah, like I don't know, maybe he has
or a
a
farm.
farm. I mean, I guess he doesn't have not like he's going home to like family really, because he's
Yeah,
been, everyone else is dead.
yeah, maybe
Um,
not a thing, but maybe he has like a connection with animals that we don't know about.